What's going on, guys? It's your boy Austin Shobe here. In today's video, we're going to be talking about my dream card, or like a card that I would like to see for UFC London in March. So if you guys didn't see the other day when I posted my YouTube short, Ariel Helwani posted on Instagram that Leon Edwards had a interview with I think it was called Daisy Boxing. I guess they do like the whole boxing promotions or whatever. But he said that he has a fight booked in March. So I was like, okay. So I think that was like 312 or something like that. And I predicted, or I said that I had a feeling that he was going to fight Jack Della Maddalena, okay? And then I was like, okay, well, why don't we just make a video on that whole fight card, you know, like who would be a good main event or prelims, you know? So, it's going to be in the O2 Arena in London, and it's going to be, I think, at 3 p.m. on Eastern Coast time. So, we're going to get into this, and let me know what you guys think about these matchups. I'm kind of interested in what you guys would think, so let me know. By the way, we're going to be doing the prelims and the main card. So, we're going to start with the prelims first. Now, for the first fight on the list, we got Warlley Alves versus Christian Leroy Duncan. Now, Christian Leroy Duncan was a promising prospect in the UFC. He's 10-2 with his only 2 losses coming in the UFC. His most recent fight was he lost to Gregory Rodriguez, and I think it was by unanimous decision. So it wasn't like a by finish or anything. But he's a good fighter, you know. He's only 10-2, and I think he's pretty young. But the reason why I picked Warlley, because he's like on like maybe like a 5-fight losing streak. So I think it would just be like a nice little tune-up fight for Christian, and I think it would be also like a good performance to watch on the prelims, you know. It'd be nice to see the opening fight be, you know, like a finish or something, or just like a crazy striking match, you know what I'm saying? Like if he fights him and puts on a good performance, then I think maybe he'll be back on the hype train a little bit. So that's what I think. For the next fight we got on the list is Gene Silva versus Nathaniel Wood. The reason why I came up with this matchup is because even with Gene Silva, like, you know, he's undefeated in the UFC, and he has a lot of hype behind his name just because of the team that he fights for, which is the Fighting Nerds. You guys already know who's on their team, I'm assuming, if you guys watch the UFC. But the reason why I think Nathaniel Wood would be a good matchup for him is because he's 20-6, and he's not really known for knocking anybody out, but he has a lot of decision wins, and he only has 3 losses in the UFC. So I think it would be a good fight for Gene Silva to like put even more hype behind his name, because fighting someone like Nathaniel Wood, having that many fights in total, would be good. 1, for experience, and 2, would just be good to put on his resume. And it's like one step close to having a ranked fight, you know, for either one of them, you know. If Nathaniel Wood would win, you know, and especially in London, it'd be really huge for him, you know. So that's all I really got to say about this matchup. I just thought it would be pretty interesting, but you guys let me know about this one. All right, with the next fight on the prelim card that we got is MVP versus Shara Bullet. Now, this was actually a call-out, okay? This wasn't like any like rumor or anything, and it hasn't been announced yet. I guess technically it is still a rumor, but after Shara Bullet called out Izzy, his last fight, MVP went out on Twitter and said, you know, leave my boy Izzy alone. I'll fight you instead. And I'm here for it, dude. Honestly, MVP, he's that type of dude where he with his build, he can fight in either middleweight or welterweight, just like Kevin Holland, you know, like he's tall and lanky, and he can make both weight classes. But honestly, I think he could do better. I think he could do better at middleweight, honestly, because it's not as of like a competitive weight class like welterweight is, because welterweight has just so much depth. And I'm not saying that middleweight is not a competitive weight class. I'm just saying I think welterweight would be a lot harder for MVP to fight him. considering like his age too. And there's a lot of younger. I feel like there's a lot more younger guys at welterweight. So I think that, and another reason why I think this would be a good fight is because stylistically, Share Bullet is more of like a kickboxer, while MVP is more of like a blitzing like karate stance guy. So sort of like Wonder Boy Thompson, but he just does it a little bit better. So I think this would be like one of the fights on the prelim cards that could potentially win like maybe fight of the night for the prelims if they have both. I don't know if they have fight of the night for the prelims and the fight of the night for the main card, but either way, I think this could be a potential like fight of the night winner for the prelim card. And you know, why not give us like a banger, you know, to watch on the prelims for the people who can't buy the pay-per-view. You know what I'm saying? I just think it'd be good, especially for London, since they're from MVP's from the UK. So let me know what you guys think about this fight. Okay, so the last fight on the prelim card we got is Paddy Pimblett versus Renato Moicano. Now this fight, it just makes sense to me, dude. It's like it's a call out. Paddy calling out Renato. They're both grapplers, and they both have good stand-up. I just think this would be an entertaining fight. And it just makes sense because they're close in the rankings, and it's a good fight for Paddy Pimblett to bump up in the rankings. And it's also a good fight for Renato Moicano because Paddy Pimblett has hype around him. You know what I'm saying? It's a fight that makes sense. I don't really have much to say about this fight. It just makes sense. So this would be the perfect time and the perfect opportunity for these guys to fight each other. So let me know what you guys think. Now for the first fight to open up the main card, I decided to put Josh Emmett versus Lerone Murphy. Yet again, another call out. Like I said, it makes sense. You know, you got Lerone Murphy, undefeated. He's from the UK. It just makes sense for him to fight on this card. I don't know. I feel like it would be an entertaining fight considering that Josh Emmett just puts people's lights out, and Lerone Murphy, he's been looking really promising, especially with that fight against Edson Barbosa. That's the one that really sticks out to me the most. He put on a really good performance against him, and I seriously think this guy could be top 5 in the featherweight division. I don't think he could be champion. I could be wrong, but I just think this would be the perfect fight to open up the main card with, and it would be a really good fight. I think Josh Emmett could be the guy to either put his lights out or really give him a run for his money, or just give him a good crack. So I think it would be an entertaining fight, and I think most of the fans would like to see this fight on this card too. So let me know what your guys' thoughts are on this. For the next fight, I got Yair Rodriguez versus Arnold Allen. Again, this fight makes plenty of sense. These guys are close in the rankings, and Yair Rodriguez is coming off a loss while Arnold Allen is coming off a win. I think this fight would be entertaining striking-wise. Both of these guys are like stand-up, not really that much grappling. I guess you could say Yair Rodriguez is more of a grappler than Arnold Allen is, but all I know is that Arnold Allen had a really good fight against Giga Chikadze. He also had a really good fight against Max Holloway. He's shown good stuff against Max Holloway and Giga. I just think this would be a good fight, and I honestly think Arnold Allen could potentially win, because I'm not saying Yair Rodriguez's last performance was bad. Brian Ortega is he's just a really good fighter. I just think he kind of maybe like gave up a little bit, but who knows? It would be a good fight for him to, you know, make a comeback and maybe fight someone like Diego Lopez next if he beats Arnold Allen, or if Arnold Allen beats Yair Rodriguez, he's next in line for a title shot. I could potentially see some things going for both fighters if they win this fight. But I don't know. I think this would be a good fight. to put on this card. It makes sense. And, you know, why not give all of our UK and British guys, you know, this card. It just makes sense to me. I don't know. I think London deserves a major fight card, considering that the last time Leon Edwards fought Belal Muhammad, it was at like 5 a.m. over there or something. It was like super late, you know. So why not treat him a little bit? You know what I'm saying? It just makes sense to me. For the next fight in the list, I got Justin Gaethje versus Dan Hooker. Hear me out. Before you guys start like being like, oh, why, you know, why would they fight each other? It doesn't make any sense, or this wouldn't be entertaining. Yes, it would be. It would be super entertaining. Do you guys not remember Dan Hooker versus Dustin Poirier back during COVID? That fight was crazy. That was like a slaughterhouse, dude. They were going crazy. And this would be Dan Hooker's perfect opportunity to bump up in the rankings after beating Gamrot. Okay, Justin Gaethje just lost to Max Holloway. Now, you know, I'll give him credit where credit is due. Max Holloway is a beast, you know, former featherweight champion. I think Dan Hooker versus Justin Gaethje would be a crazy, crazy fight. I don't think any of these guys will try to grapple each other. And Dan Hooker looked really good against Gamrot last time. He had a really good takedown defense, and he was really good on the feet. Another fight that could potentially win fight of the night, in my opinion. Okay? Both these guys have power behind their hands. They know how to hit. They know how to take a hit. And, you know, it's a fight that I want to see. Why not make this fight? It makes perfect sense. It's just, and both these guys are game too. You know, they're not scared of each other. It just makes perfect sense to me, in my opinion. Why not make this fight? Makes perfect sense. So, let me know what you guys think about this fight. Okay, for the co-main event, I got Leon Edwards versus JDM. Now, the reason why I came up with this matchup is because, like I said the other day, you know, Ariel Helwani said that Leon Edwards was saying that he's fighting in March. And it's like, I don't know who else he could really fight. It's like Shavkat's already fighting Ian Gary. Belal is hurt. And JDM just beat Gilbert Burns. So, and he's definitely not fighting Colby Covington again, because Colby Covington's fighting Buckley next week, or the weekend after. So, I don't know. I think JDM is the perfect guy to fight him. I feel like it just gives JDM that next fight, like, you know, that one step close to fighting for the title, or even fighting Shavkat, like he called him out a while back. So I definitely think this fight would be interesting, and I could see it going either way. It could either go, I could see Leon Edwards, you know, kind of like finishing him like he did Kamaru Usman, or I could just see JDM outstriking him with his boxing. But either way, this fight would be the perfect co-main event, considering that, like, Leon Edwards isn't champion anymore, so it couldn't be a main event. So why not make it the co-main event? You know, give the fans what they want, and let Leon Edwards, you know, actually fight at like a decent time this time. You know what I'm saying? Because I think this fight is at 3 p.m. Like, the main card's at 3 p.m. on the Eastern time. So I think he'll be fighting a little bit earlier than what he did last time. So let me know what you guys think about this fight. All right, for the main event, I got Alex Pereira versus Magomed Ankalaev. Now, okay, the reason you guys are going to be like, oh, well, why isn't Aspinall fighting Jones? You know, why isn't this fight the main event? This would be the perfect main event for this card. Dude, hear me out, dude. John Jones is not fighting Tom Aspinall in his home ground. He's not doing it, dude. He doesn't like Aspinall. It's just like, we already know Magomed's next in line for this title shot against Alex Pereira. Why not just get it out of the way? You know what I'm saying? It makes sense. John Jones isn't gonna fight Aspinall in London unless they do Aspinall and Alex Pereira, but that doesn't make any sense. Like, Alex Pereira is not gonna go up to heavyweight and try to fight for an interim title. If anything, he'd go up and fight John Jones, which Dana White already said that fight's not going to happen anytime soon. So, unless he could just be bullshitting us. I mean, I don't know. I definitely think Magomed Ankalaev and Alex Pereira would be the fight to make, considering that technically no champion right now is represents England or UK from what I know of. And it just makes perfect sense to me to get this fight out of the way, and it could be potentially like a good fight. I mean, I don't say I hate Magomed Ankalaev. I don't think the only way that he would beat Alex Pereira, in my opinion, would be from his grappling. And he could potentially beat him. I just don't think he would. And like I said, it just makes perfect sense. Get the fight out of the way, and then we'll start talking about some super fights for Alex Pereira. Or maybe after that, book John Jones and Tom Aspinall. Or John Jones, freaking Alex Pereira. Do what you want at this point. I just think this would be the perfect main event for this card. I think it's the most realistic main event for this card. And it would definitely be the best fight to end off this card. And it has this, like I said, it has this card has the potential to be so stacked if Dana White just does it. You know what I'm saying? So let me know what you guys think about this whole fight card that I made up, and let me know what fights that I put interest you the most. What fights do you think would be the most bangers? Or if I missed a matchup, put it in the comments. But yeah, that's going to be it for this video, you guys. I'm also putting my my socials in the description, like the links to them and everything, so you guys can click those and follow me for updates and everything like that. So yeah, but that's all I gotta say for this video. Peace.